Pardon my absence last weekend. I wanted to get on, do two live shows. One, breaking down offense and breaking down defense, especially, about what Troy said last week about what he sees on film with these wide receivers. This show is young and it's still small. So when you have a small show, when you do a live show, sometimes it's hit or miss. This is Sunday. It's about 1:40 p.m. So I know all the big content creators are doing live shows too. If this doesn't really get an audience, then I'll just shut it down and just do a regular video. But I am what 76 away from 500. When I reach 500, a Emmett Smith will give your card raffle giveaway. When I reach 1,000 subscribers, autograph Larry Allen football raffle giveaway. Both players in NFL lore. Emmett Smith's all-time leading rusher, 3-time Super Bowl champion, Hall of Famer, records never be broken. Larry Allen, Hall of Famer, 3-time Super Bowl champion. Actually he only won. Larry Allen only won one Super Bowl actually, but some consider him to be the best lineman to ever play the game. So that being said, five topics right here. What I was going to talk about last weekend on Aikman's comments about what he sees on film. And it's not just this season, it's the seasons beforehand. It's what, disciplinarians, it's what a head coach that commands respect would get. A head coach that commands respect would get, 100% from everybody on every given play. Now, now everybody likes to say they watch film and this and that. That's why Mike Fisher, has those T-shirts that say I watch film. It's a joke. Aikman played the game, won 3 Super Bowls, Hall of Famer. He watches film. He knows what he's seeing. And if our receivers are coming off the ball slow and, especially if their name's not being called on the play and they're coming off the ball slow, that's just bad all the way around. Bad all the way around. These receivers, Tolbert and Turpin and, Brooks, Tolbert's potential is super high. So is Turpin's. And that's why I wanted to break it down last week during the bye week. Too busy though. But if this team doesn't give 100% every play, if Troy Aikman is watching this film, I know this is last week he said this, and these receivers are getting off the ball that slow, especially if their name's not being called on the play. But you never know. Going through the reads, your name could be called. That's just a lack of effort. That is a lack of respect for the head coach. People that have a reverential fear for the head coach, Green Bay, Detroit, big time. San Fran, who even with all the injuries, still 3-4, gave Kansas City a run for the money last week. You know what I mean? San Fran was in that game, which worries me tonight, even though they have a list of injuries. But that kind of seems moot. They should be bigger than a 4-point favorite. But if this team doesn't freaking hustle and try to ball out and play as 100%, I mean, even at Pop Warner, if you played Pop Warner football, junior high, high school, 100% every play. If you didn't give that, you weren't going to be on the field unless you were just, transcendently talented. Now, injuries today, of course, Law is out. Mike ain't going to play. Deron Bland, who we had good feelings about, hell, he was practicing in full 2 weeks ago before Detroit. Didn't play against Detroit. We figured give him the bye week. He'd be good today. He's not playing today. Jordan Phillips out. He ain't been much of an impact anyway. Eric Kendrick still questionable. Quarterback of the defense. Kalen Carson questionable. San Fran CMC out for the season. Ayuk out for the season now too, as we know. Lance Lenorther, cornerback, out. Their safety Tufunga, he's out for a long time. Jawan Jennings not playing today. The big thing that's questionable. Hey, what's going on, Clips? Big thing that's questionable, man, is Debo and Kittle being questionable. If both of those boys don't come out and play today, which I'd be very shocked, because San Fran at 3-4, they can't go to 3-5. It would just put them behind the 8 ball a lot. And this is like kind of a last dance for this particular squad because Brock Purdy is last year on his rookie deal. He'll get his money, after year 3 of the season. But if one of the two, Debo or Kittle, if one of the two don't come out and play today, that'll help us. Brandon Cooks, we put on IR this week. As y'all know, he'll be out for at least 4 weeks. But injuries aside on that, on this game, injuries aside, still the Cowboys 32nd in rushing offense. Worst rushing offense in the NFL. Ezekiel Elliott, 6 games into the season, has 115 yards on the ground. Rico has a little bit over 200. San Fran, with their injuries, without Christian McCaffrey, still 6th rushing in the NFL. The defense is playing a hell of a lot better than our defense. Coming off the worst home loss since 1989. The worst, the last time I think we lost by that many points, not home but away, was Green Bay 2010, right? Green Bay 2010. So, what happens to who loses this game? 3-3, San Fran's 3-4. San Fran is good enough to, if they lose and go to 3-5, it's not going to knock them out of contention because they will get healthy. And Kyle Shanahan's just such a great coach. I mean, the Shanahan tree has spawned off all these other great coaches as you see. Green Bay balling out right now. LaFleur coming off the Shanahan tree, and you could go on and count the coaches that came off the Shanahan tree. But if they go to 3-5, San Fran goes to 3-5 today, and we pull off this upset. We're only 4-point underdogs. Clips, man. Okay, as a fan, the definition of fan is fanatic. So yeah, of course, I would love to see the Cowboys win. I don't think we're going to win. Even with San Fran as hamstrung as they are, we're hamstrung too. But San Fran isn't getting blown out of the water in their 4 losses. They went to Kansas City last week and gave Kansas City a good game. KC pulled away at the end. That is the number 1 team in the NFL. They're better than Detroit, better than Minnesota. They're going to be the first team to probably three-peat this season. The Cowboys are the closest team to do that in the 90s, as we know. 4 straight NFC Championship games. San Fran ruined that. But, San Fran looked very good last week. The week before, they looked very good beating the Seahawks. So even if, just say Debo and Kittle don't play today. Just say both of them questionable, don't play. And they're out with Jawan Jennings ain't playing. He's out. Ayuk is out, as we know. And so they're playing with backup receivers. But, that running back that they have for Christian McCaffrey, since he's out, he's been balling out too this season because of that zone blocking scheme. His father ran in Denver in the late 90s. He's taken that, learned from his dad when they coached together in Washington. And, Shanahan is becoming one of the, since 2019, he's at San Fran top tier. That's when they had Jimmy Garoppolo, before they even, before CMC was even drafted. You know what I mean? And we haven't beat San Fran since Kyle Shanahan's been their coach. We beat them, in 2016 when they were super horrible? Other than that, we have not beat them since. And the last 3 times we played them, playoff exit last year was a blowout in the Bay Area. Now, we're only 4-point underdogs, which is very surprising to me. But honestly, the way, unless during the bye week, unless we had a Jesus meeting and these players are taking it seriously, that you're 3-3, and if you lose, you're going to fall to 3-4. And in front of you, I'm not sure the exact order, but I'm pretty sure it's Atlanta, Houston, Philly, and Washington. The next 4. Those are all good teams. Right now, Atlanta is giving Tampa Bay a game. I believe they're leading 21-17 last time I saw. Philly would probably be the weakest out of that group. Being that they're trailing against Cincinnati right now, we don't know what Philly is. Right now, they look better than we do. They have a running back that will scare the hell out of our defense. Saquon and Derrick Henry are the 2 top running backs in the NFL right now, being that CMC is out for the season. Barkley, oh man, if our run defense don't look good today, if our run defense gets ran through by this beautiful, blocking offense that Kyle Shanahan coaches, and they rush like a $180, 200 yards and beat us by 2-3 scores, then there's no way that we turn it around to where even if down the stretch in this gauntlet of the schedule, the teams that we play all get the injury bug, just hypothetically saying, and we were able to get the 7 seed, getting lucky, it wouldn't really even matter unless we got better throughout the season. But I don't know if that's going to happen. We have a new defensive scheme in place. Mike Zimmer is a coordinator. Switched from a 3-4 to 4-3. It's not easy to do that in one off season, but usually with the talent that we have, the defense shouldn't look as bad as it does. It looks like Mike Nolan's defense in 2020 when they couldn't freaking practice and they were all doing, Zoom meetings during the offseason. Jerry, Mike McCarthy didn't pick Mike Zimmer. I'll tell you, Jerry Jones did. Because, Mike used to coach for Jerry in the glory days. My score prediction for the night, I would tell you probably 31-14, 31-17 San Fran. That's what I would see happening. And that's if we keep it competitive, or unless it's 31-3 and we get 2 backdoor touchdowns, Prescott likes to do. But it's all going to hinge on how the players take this game. Against Pittsburgh, we were hampered with injuries. Not as many, but a lot. And we go into Pittsburgh, who's 5-2 right now. Pittsburgh doing their thing. We go to Pittsburgh and we pull out that win because the players came out. How you doing, Kamar Azim? I'm doing fine, brother. How about you? The bench players came out and played ball that night and won on the last second, touchdown. It was a great victory, and then we followed it up with a, horrible performance at home against Detroit. Well, we're on the road tonight. That's the one plus I guess you can gather from all this. 3-3, 0-3 at home, 3-0 on the road, even though it's only at Cleveland, at the Giants, at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is the only glowing win in that scenario. But that matchup kind of favored us because Pittsburgh didn't have a running game. Don't have much of an offense. It's a very good defense. Therefore, it's a low-scoring game like I thought. But San Fran, if they were to lose tonight, their season is not exactly over. I believe, kind of like what James Jones said on The Facility, which I do like that show. I like the cast. The NFC West ain't that tough. And as San Fran gets healthier down the stretch, they could probably overtake the Rams, Arizona, and Seattle, possibly win their division, get the 4 seed, even if they're 3-5. If we go to 3-4, having Atlanta, Philly, Houston, and Washington in front of us, it could be 2020, 2015, 2010 all over again. Seems like every 5 years we have a losing season. If you have a Rolodex in your head, I've been watching this team since Super Bowl 28, so that's what equivalent to about 30 years of watching this team. A little over 30. Played the game my entire life, been a student of the game my entire life. Love football. It's part of America. Beautiful English. You would be okay. Yeah. This is America's English speaking channel. But 2004, we go 6-10, right? 2010, a complete horrible losing season. 2015, losing season. 2020, losing season. 2024. It seems like about every 4, 5, 6 years, you have one really bad season. This could be it. Now, with everybody that we have locked in for the future, big contracts are coming up. In the offseason, you got Tyler Smith and Micah Parsons and Tyler Smith. In order from, bigger contract to second biggest contract. Those would be the 2 big guys that will have to be, extended, get the bag in the offseason. But if this season, after the night, if we come out and fall on our faces, I'm talking like if we come out tonight on the road and get blown out of the water by the worst San Francisco team that we've played in the Kyle Shanahan era, if we go out and get blown out of the water tonight, you could probably look at a 4-13, 5-12 type season. Possibly maybe 6-11, 7-10 if you're lucky. And that's capitalizing on the teams, like Carolina, the Giants, the easier games. But if we get blown out of the water tonight, you could probably put that in writing because we're not making a trade at the deadline. This is not 2018. We're not getting a big-time wide receiver after we're 3-5. After we're 3-4, go to 3-5 and turn it around. That team in 2018 had a really, really good defense through the regular season and the first playoff game until they went to the Coliseum. But that team had a really good defense. Had Zeke in his prime. They just needed a number 1 receiver. We did it. We got it. Turn the season around. But this team, one trade wouldn't make the difference. You could trade for Derrick Henry right now. You can get Derrick Henry or Saquon Barkley, either one right now as our running back. And it's too many holes. It would help out the running game, yeah. But is that going to make the other receivers, play 100% every play, come off the ball every play, like they're going to get the ball like it's the Super Bowl. That's how you got to play every down, especially when you make it to the top level, the NFL. And Aikman's words really rang out loud and clear last week. Jerry Jones wants to, threaten, Sean Sharif and RJ on 105.3 The Fan because they're calling him out on what he didn't do. And Jerry's like, where are you going to get any players right now? Tell me, where? I mean, okay, 3 top receivers got dealt this last week. Hopkins goes to Kansas City. That's a Super Bowl winning move right there. Kansas City already 6-0. Now they got Hopkins as their, top receiver with a catch radius. Buffalo goes and gets Coop, and, Adams goes to the Jets. Those are teams making moves, trying to get to where they're going. And, Buffalo and the Jets, their window's closing pretty quick. So those are, big, desperate moves right there. Kansas City, their window's open for a long time. But tonight, after the bye week, the players got to get rested. They got to get a little rest, get their mind off things. Mike Zimmer and, Mike McCarthy and Brian Shoddy have had 2 weeks to try to figure this out on paper because it comes down to coaching. A lot of this comes down to coaching. Even if it's your number 2 right now, which is Jalen Tolbert, if you see him dragging ass 75% of the snaps, especially when his number's not being called on the play pass, then you put his ass on the bench. You pick up somebody or you elevate somebody from the practice squad. You got to start letting players know they're going to be held accountable for their actions and how much they plan on trying to win, games. Because, effort is a big part of it. And to get blown out 3 out of 6 games, not just, barely lose, blown fuck out, says a lot. Only team in the NFL that's been blown out like that this year is us. 3-3 can be deceiving. I know Bill Parcells says you are what your record says you are, right? But 3-3 can be deceiving. I said 2 weeks ago we would know exactly what kind of team we were when we played Detroit. Well, we saw that. Last time I saw Detroit was up on Titans 28-14. Right now they're the front runner in the NFC to me. Detroit, Kansas City right now look like the 2 best teams in the league. Minnesota's had back-to-back losses. I'm thinking 31-14, 31-17, San Fran. If we were to win this game, that'd be awesome. That might be, the first step in trying to turn the corner on a team that has the talent. We have the talent. It ain't like we ain't got the guys. We have the guys. But are they going to put out the effort? And if they come out tonight like they did 2 Sunday nights ago at Pittsburgh and put out the effort they did at Pittsburgh, they have a shot tonight. But we'll see what they look like. We'll see how, what kind of effort they put out, how Mike McCarthy can get this team up or if he cannot. Because in the past, he has not been able to get this team up in big games. Big games in the regular season or playoff games, Mike McCarthy has not been able to have the team rise. Like the Lions fight and die for Dan Campbell. Just, like 300 in the Spartans almost, you would think. I mean, the Lions, have a diehard belief in their head coach. Do anything they say, Mike McCarthy don't have that, anymore, at least. I think Mike McCarthy, lost his nuts whenever, him and Aaron Rodgers started butting heads in the late 2010s. That's why McCarthy was out of there. That was Rodgers. That's why Robert Saleh is out of there. That was Rodgers. You got certain quarterbacks, every generation that had the kind of power he does. But, if San Fran loses, they're not done. If we lose, especially if we lose in really bad fashion, I'd be looking forward to next year. And you don't want to tank. I hate tanking. You want to play to win. But a top 10 draft pick wouldn't be bad. It wouldn't be bad at all, especially, if you can get a premier running back or any kind of premier player on a top 10 pick. But if we get trounced tonight, that's what the season's going to be. Don't look for any kind of resurgence, any kind of comeback. We're not making any trade. Even when we get healthy, unless a miracle happens, it ain't going to make a difference. So, we'll see. It's all about effort. If these guys that are coming in for D-Law, Parsons, Deron Bland, we since John Stevens tore his ACL again, 2nd season in a row, we elevated number 27 onto the active roster. He's been playing all right. But if Eric Kendricks don't play tonight, you know what I mean? That's a bigger loss than Micah Parsons, like I said 2 weeks ago. And that showed 2 weeks ago, too, because they ran through our defense. Our defense didn't know where the hell they were going because they didn't have a true quarterback that knows the system like Kendricks does. So pray to God he plays tonight. And pray to God Debo and Kittle don't, because they're all three questionable. And those are really big tilts. I mean, those players probably count at least a point or two against the spread, whether they play or don't. But, yeah, being a realist, I predict San Fran to just do what they want to tonight. But if we come out and give effort and play, then it's going to be a ball game. Hopefully a dog fight. Hopefully it's like the 22 playoff game. That was a competitive game. We lost Tony Pollard in the second quarter. Still, it was a competitive damn game. We played very well. Sans Prescott's 2 picks, but that's my thoughts on this team and tonight. If it goes haywire again tonight and we have a fourth really bad loss, McCarthy is not the man for the job because the players do not respect him enough to go out and give 100% every play. Aikman pointed that out, and he did that on purpose. Trey Aikman did that on purpose because Jerry Jones wouldn't listen to non-football people like Sean Sharif or RJ, who they know what the hell they're talking about. So does Aikman, and Jerry knows that because he knows Troy. Troy brought his ass 3 rings. So Troy Aikman is, pointing this and that out. Jerry, open your damn ears. But I'm pretty sure we all kind of knew that anyway. We all knew that McCarthy can't get his team up for big games. We've seen that since he's been our head coach. We'll see what he does tonight. Two weeks ago, he did against Pittsburgh. Well, that was 3 weeks ago, right? So, yeah. Tonight, I'm looking at San Fran to just run through us, literally. But if we come out and want to win and play to win, and our players give 100% every play, and Aikman looks at that film and is like, yeah, these receivers are coming off the ball full speed every play, whether it's, no matter what the play call is, even if the player is the last read on the play, that receiver's the last read on the play, he's coming off that ball 100% like he's the number one option. That's how you got to play every play. And they're not doing that. That's why you're getting 38-point losses, blowouts like that. I mean, Baltimore, we came within 3, but that was just like 2020 crap, you know what I mean? Garbage time stats that don't mean a damn thing. All that matters is that W or that L. So, if we win tonight, there's hope. There's still hope. Even though San Fran is banged up as they are, it'd still be a big win because we're banged up too. But if we get trashed tonight, guys, I would say the fat lady's getting the mic, and she about to perform her, number 1 hit solo. That's my thoughts on tonight's game against San Fran. That's my thoughts on this team as of this season in general. I know seasons in the past, last few seasons, that's shown on film, but, for Freeman to point it out, in this season it's worse. It's worse on both sides of the ball. Not just the receivers coming off the football, it's both sides of the ball. It's the defensive line coming off, the LOS, it's cornerbacks, playing man coverage. It's everybody. It's the safeties trying to take certain angles. God dang, how many post patterns have we gotten burnt on because Donovan Wilson and Lee Coker didn't know, which one of them was supposed to pick up the motherfucker running right between them. You know what I mean? Just not in the game 100%, which you have to be no matter who you're playing. No matter if you're playing the 2016 Lions or if you're playing, this year's Chiefs. It's all the same. Everybody gets paid in this league. Everybody comes out to play to win. So we'll see what happens tonight. 4-point underdogs. I'm surprised it's not like 8, regardless of the 49ers injuries. But we'll see what happens tonight. I'm predicting a loss, but let's hope for a win. That's all I got to say about that right now, man. Yeah, guys, subscribe, like, and share. As soon as I get more settled in here, I'm going to hook up the garage, make that into the man cave. When I hit 500 subscribers, one of y'all is going to get a Rookie of the Year Emmitt Smith card. It's worth money, trust me. And then once I hit 500, man, I'm going to get that mic, the studio equipment, all that shit, and the call-in line too. Law Nation seems to be the only one who does that, and it's genius. I love it. I love calling in on his show. So when I hit 500, I'm going to have the call-in line too. Y'all, 76 more, y'all hit that sub button, give me the 500, let's get this thing rolling. Winning season or losing season, we all going to ride this thing together, because when you ride with a team, you ride with them every game. Even if we're 3-10, you know what I mean? Well, week 12, I'm going to still be going for our boys. That's just how it is. Been watching this team every game since Super Bowl 28. That was my first game. Why I fell in love with the team, I have no idea. I live in Houston. Just did. So that's it for this episode, guys. Keep God first and foremost. He comes before everything, even this. Seek Him in His righteousness, and all these other things in your life will fall into place. I guarantee you. I am right now living out, that particular passage in the Bible. But yeah, we'll see what happens tonight. Keep an eye on the games today. Hopefully Philly drops against Cincy. Hopefully Washington drops against who the hell they're playing. I forgot. But yeah, tonight tonight's basically win and you're still in, or lose and start preparing for 2025. That's pretty much how I see it. I'm pretty sure that's the way it's gonna play out. All right, guys, y'all enjoy the game. I'll catch y'all after the game. Charles in Charge Cowboys Sports Report is out. News.